If you're just joining us, hit that pause button, head over to this GitHub repo, and grab the code for the previous tutorial, 01 Get Started. After you download the repository, open up 01 Get Started in VS Code, run flutter pub get, and press unpause to continue with this tutorial. Our objective is to put the buttons within a row to give you horizontal control and apply more buttons to each row. When you first wrap the row around the button, it's going to be all red. Delete the word const on line 44, and then for each button, each button will need a const, or otherwise you'll have the little warning there. But you could just put it all, the word const in front of the entire list, and that will eliminate the blue squiggly line there. And do the same thing for the sized box, which is be a const. We'll repeat this process for the other two buttons so you get a bit more practice here. So we're just gonna, when you click on the button itself, you can, there's a little light bulb on the left hand side. And so then with the, if you click on wrap with row on VS Code, it'll wrap it within a row. Initially, each row will have a single button, and we'll use the const in front of the entire list. The list is within the square brackets to eliminate the blue squiggly line here. And for the third button, which will be the third row, we'll also do the exact same thing. So we'll click it, the light bulb will pop open, and then you'll select wrap with row, you put in a const, and then we'll test it out. At this stage, it should look exactly the same, but it does give us this ability to add additional buttons to the row. So to get the row spacing on the horizontal axis, I'm just going to use main axis alignment, and then there's a constant main axis alignment dot space evenly. So if you have more than one button when you're using main axis alignment dot space evenly, it will align the buttons out nicely. So in this case, we'll just put 3 info buttons as a test so you can see what the layout looks like here. And you can see that they're all nicely spaced out here. So when you're building your app, it would be different buttons, but we're just getting the layout so that you can see how to use rows within the column. We're going to repeat the same syntax, the same process for the other two buttons. So it's a row, and within the row, we'll just use main axis alignment to set up the horizontal spacing of the row. So this will allow us to have the, if it's a single button, it'll be right in the center. If there's multiple buttons, it'll center it nicely. The default ratio of the top and bottom portions of the application are 1:1. So each has a flex of 5. So the top response window by default has a flex of 5. If you specify a lower number, it will change the ratio and give the top portion more space. So let's set it to 2 and test it. You can change it around. Also, the lower portion is a scrollable view. So if you have more rows than does fit on your mobile app screen, you can just keep adding the rows and it will scroll down when you tap it. Flutter does have a lot more control over the layout of the different widgets on the screen. This is a quick tutorial to show you how to change the spacing, the top and bottom ratio, as well as to add a horizontal row. And once you can, if you want to add more rows, it will scroll. Subscribe to the channel. We'll cover how to add color and font changes to the individual buttons to have that look that you envision, or the look that you want for your application. Future videos will also cover an overview of the different buttons available, which controls the API of the camera. So it's also a good way to learn how to use the API of the camera by building these mobile apps.